this is how we do good practice for us.
Yeah, I wanted to learn from Kalpe. Yeah. My one.
Sada vijayate Ramam Ramesham bhaje Ramena vihata nishachara chamu Ramaya tasmai namaha Raman nasti parayanam parataram Ramasya daso asmyaham Rame chittale sada bhavatume bhora mama mudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Om Nama Iti Asa Shri Maheshwara Sutrani Ayyan Rulruk Ayong Ayauch Ayavarat Lan Nyamanga Na Nam Jabain Gadadash Jabagadadash Kapa Cha 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 Tau Kapai Shashasar Hal Iti Maheshwara Sutrani. Okay, let's continue from last time. We are talking about this Karaka Prakaranam and what happens to the Anikarta when we have this niche, when you have the Hetu who comes in there, then what happens to the Karta who was before the Hetu came in, what happened to the Karta? So last time we were looking at this beautiful verse from the Siddhanta Kaumudi, this one. Shatru nagamayat sargam vedartham swana vedayata ashaya chamutam vedan vedam adhyapayad vidhim asayat talile prithvim yassame shri harir gatihi. Okay, so now where this comes from is that if you look at let's go to the Ashtadhyayi for a second. I hope all of you are using this nice Ashtadhyayi which we have, is searchable and all that. So Anuji, you have to mute yourself, Anuji. Can you do that?
Yes.
You can mute yourself. Okay. So if you go to the Ashtadhyayi, in the there are two places. Any Vibhakti assignment is made only in 2.3 in the Ashtadhyayi. So if you have to assign any Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Prathama, whatever, it has to be from some sutram in 2.3. There's no other place. There's no other place. And there we have Karmani Dvitiya and so on. So Karma takes Dvitiya, and so but behind this there's another section in 1.4 called the section called Karake. So Ashtadhyayi is very useful. You can search Ashtadhyayi, because it's a very nice tool that we have. Thanks to Kalpesh and Ravi, we have this tool. So just say Karake and you can search that. See how quickly we can do that. So the Karake section is in 1.4. So 1.4.23 onwards starts Karake. So, and this is where Panini assigns all the Karaka labels, So it says what is karma, what is karta, who becomes, and so on. So in that we have two special rules as to first. Let us start from the who is the karta. Let's start from that sutram. The sutram Swatantra Karta. Tantra Karta is one who is independent in the action, is the Karta. Other things are secondary, like the karma, because you can say Ramaha Gacchati. That's the complete sentence. He doesn't depend on anybody else to be there to complete the sentence. The karma, you can say Ramaha Vanam Gacchati, that becomes the karma. Then you can say Ramaha Sitaya Saha Vanam Gacchati, So all these things you can add later on, So you can say Ayodhya Yaha Vanam Gacchati, from Ayodhya he goes, Panchami. So these are all coming later. But Swatantra is the Karta. So he is the one who is the independent, does the action. And then the others, support him in the action. Swatantra Karta. Okay? So we can also search for his sutram. If you know only one part of the sutram, you just know the word Karta. You can go and search and say, here it is. Swatantra Karta, I think we will miss that. Okay, let me see. Swatantra Karta. No, okay. What number is that? Swatantra Karta should be here. It's 54. It's the next one, Swatantra Karta. Okay, down Swatantra Karta. So. But then the next sutram says Tat Prayojako Hetuscha. Tat Prayojakaha, one who propels him, instigates him to do something. He's Hetuscha. Means he's also the Karta, with also the Hetu, means that the cause of the action. He is the cause of the action. Then what happened to our old Karta who was Swatantra Karta before the Hetu came in? What is his status now? That is basically the question we are going to try to answer, is what is his status? because he still remains the karta. Even though he was no longer, his swatantram is kinchit nyunam, because his swatantram is a little bit lost now, because he is being propelled by this other hetu which is coming behind, the prayojaka. But still he has some swatantram. So even after the hetu comes in, he can still deny to do the action or do the action. That still has. So he retains the karta status. So if you look at the document we were looking at last time, we say, simple example, if we take balakaha gramam gacchati. So this balakaha was swatantra karta when he was going to the village. Is the ani avastha. What Panini calls the ani avastha, means that when the niche wasn't there. Then the father comes in and says, Pita balakam gramam gamayati. Now this balakaha was the karta before. He still is the karta. So if you look at it like that, then if we see what vibhakti should be getting, and if we look at the 2.3 section, the 231 was telling us starts from anabhite. We also spoke about that last time. Is the sutram anabhite? It runs through this 2.3 section. We say that all these rules of when to assign, the karma text ditya and so on, those are only valid if it is anabhita. Anabhita means what? Means untold, not told. This dhatu is and then abhi plus dha. Abhidha is to narrate, abhidha. So anabhite, that's a very important concept, anabhite. So let's put that down here, anabhite. Anabhite. This is 231. Now why is it very important? So here we have the dhatu is we have dha. Upasarga dhatu is dha. Upasarga is abhi. Upasarga is abhi. Anybody in the Gita, where this form comes in Gita? Anybody? Now we can also search the Gita, by the way. So that's also very useful. Upasarga is abhi. I'm sorry. Anybody in the Gita? This word, this abhihita in Gita, comes in the second chapter, right? Esha te vita sankhye buddhir yoge timam shuno buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. If you search for abhihita, you can find this in the Gita, abhihita. Here it is. It's 2.39 in Gita. Esha te, it's a very useful tool that we have now. Esha te vita sankhye buddhir yoge timam shuno buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. By the way, we also now have the searchable Bhagavad Purana, which is amazing. The entire Bhagavad Purana, with its 18,000 verses, are all available to be searched. So let me see if I can get this one. This might be in the Bhagavad Purana also. Let's try. Yes, see, Govinda Abhihitani. Abhihita comes in. I'm sure it comes in many places, probably in Bhagavad Purana. See, Iti te Abhihitam Tata. So again, so there. We can look at all these, see how common the word it is, because it's coming so many places in the Bhagavad Purana. Okay. Soyam te abhitastata, again it comes here. Abhihitam, abhitaha, jananya abhitaha. So abhita is a very common form. Anybody in the class, what sutram we use here to get the form abhita? What sutram do you use to get the form abhita? Abhidha. Somebody should know this, right? Let's see. Hindu over there? Hindu?
Yeah, I'm there.
You know this sutra, you know, right?
Yeah.
Where could it be? Anuji, anything, any luck? Try this sutram. We're looking for sutram. When we get the abhi plus dha plus the pratya, of course, is the nishtha pratya. Abhidha. We need the dha to become he. We need the sarvadesha. Okay, what we can do is that, if you have the screen here, Indu, you can check, you can search. Let's say we put you on a search for he in the Ashtadhyayi, okay? Keep on searching, you might find it here. Let's see. Because you want the Adesha he. Of course, he will give you many hits, but you might eventually find it. Let's see, okay. Because if the Adesha is going to be he, sutra might have the word he in
It
it.
could be Ghumasta?
No, Gumasta will go Ikar Adesha.
Ikara Adesha.
Adesha is not here. You have the Gu in there, but and not only that, one thing in Hindu is that the Dhatu Da will not take this, right? Because Da becomes Datta.
Right.
So both Da and Dha don't take this karyam. Only Dha is taking it, right? So in your sutram, which doesn't have the Gu, will not help you here. Okay, I think let's find it. I think we'll find it. Let's see. Go down. I really like this searching tools, But this makes life really easy. If you miss it, here it is. Dadaterhi. Dadaterhi. So it's 7242. 42. Dadaterhi. Anyway, so that and the anuvritti is coming of this tado kiti, tikiti. So by 7242, this dha becomes he. When of course, anekal sarvasya, the pratyaya following is takaradikit pratyaya, which is what we have, takaradikit pratyaya. So anyway, so we can put that in document. So we use these tools. They're very nice to use. So we get what we have is in fact in Vyakaranam this term anabidhanam is used in the sense of when a form is not used in the language just because of a lack of usage. There might be a sutram to justify it. They might be available by Vyakaranam, but it is not used. That's called anabidhanat. Anabidhanat means not being used. It's a technical term in Vyakaranam. Anabidhanam means it is not a valid form because it's just not being used. It's not in usage, even though Vyakaranam allows it. That's anabidhanat. Anyway, so of course the an is the tatpurusha compound, Nyan tatpurusha. Then we have abhi plus dha plus the pratyaya ta with dha. And then we use the sutram dadaterhi to make it plus the avi plus he plus ta anabidhana. And so that number was the 7442, dadaterhi. Of course, there are many places you can find the answer to this. If you can go to the Krudanta Rupamala, or you can go to even Shastriji's volume 3, there's a good list over there. And if you can go to the Madhavya Dhatu Vritti, also you can go to a number of places you can go to find the answer. Okay. Anyway, so this is what we have here. So Anabhite starts from 231. What does that mean? Is that these sutras which are coming below can only apply if that particular element, whether it be karma or whatever it might be, has not already been described. Described by whom? Described by the verb. So tinganta padena, atva krudanta padena. So if we have a krudanta padam or a tinganta padam which already tells you something about this, then you cannot use this sutra. So simple example will be when you say Ramaha Sitam Pashyati. So Rama is there anabhita because nothing is known about Rama from the word, Rama has become abhita over there. Rama has become abhita. If we take Ramaha, Sitam Pashyati, Ramaha, Sitam Pashyati, Sitam Pashyati, Sitam Pashyati, take it like that. Then in this case, so here Rama is abhita. Rama is abhita. Because why is abhita? Because this word pashyati is telling you that we are expecting some karta who is a third person singular. So it has already given you a clue about who this the karta can be. So Rama has already been talked about, has been divulged. Information about Rama has already been divulged with the word pashyati. If that happens, then we cannot use this sutram which is coming here, which says the kartukarnayostitiya. Kartukarnayostitiya. Here it is. Sutram 2.3.18 here says that the karta and the karana has to take tritiya vibhakti. So Rama is the karta here. When you say Ramaha vanam gaccha, Ramaha sitam pashyati, Rama is the karta. Then how come we did not use this sutram 2.3.18, which is saying kartukarnayostitiya? For the reason that as per 2.3.1, It only applies when the karta or the karana is anabhita. Rama became abhita by the pashyati telling you about Rama. So therefore, you could not use the karana tritiya, and then you default to the prathama by the 2346 pratipadikasaling parimana vachana matre prathama. So this is the process that you have to go through. So because Rama became abhita, so 2318 did not apply anymore. 2318 did not apply anymore. So so therefore no 2318. So hence 2318 did not apply. 2318 because that's only for anabhite. Did not apply. Did not apply. Not apply. So Ramaha, and so we use the default, which is the 2346. 2346 was used to put the prathama vibhakti from Ramaha. Ramaha, we use 2346, this one. Okay. Now, if you reverse this, if you make it a passive sentence, if you make it Ramena, you take it like that, Ramena, Ramena, Sita drishyate, Sita drishyate, Sita drishyate. So Sita is seen by Rama. Now in this, what happens is that Sita drishyate, if you take it like that, drishyate. Now here Sita is abhita in this case. This is a passive sentence. So here, sorry, we'll put it here. Ramaha is abhita. Ramaha, Rama is abhita. Here Sita is abhita. Here Sita is abhita. Because why is she abhita? Because in the passive form, when you say drishyate, one who's being seen is going to be a third person singular somebody. So that tells you that somebody, because it could not have been Ramena Vanaraha Drishyante. So because Drishyante it will become there. So this Drishyate is telling you that the person being seen is a third person and is a singular form. So Sita became abhita. So here Sita became abhita. So Sita is abhita. Is in this case abhita. Is abhita. So she has been described by the verb or the participle abhita. Abhita. And so hence we did not use the karmani ditya. Because normally karmani ditya. Now, don't forget one thing, the Sita still has the karma sanya. The karma sanya is still not lost. Even if Sita became abhita and she took prathama vibhakti. That's why we should not immediately translate karma into ditya. So that which is karma will take ditya, but only if it is anabhite. If it becomes abhita, it still has karma sanya. That is not lost. The Sita is still the karma, but she is going to take the prathama vibhakti now because she became abhite. Hence we do not, hence the 232 karmani ditya did not apply. Did not apply. And we again default to the 2346. So the same thing, and we use 2346 again. Use 2346. So this is a general. Now you could also have a participle, which is describing the karma. So, Ramena Vali Hataha, our favorite sentence, right? Ramena Vali Hataha. We take Ramena Vali Hataha. Now here, what's happening is that Ramena Vali, it is Padipatin is Valin, Padipitkum Valin, become Vali. So Vali Hataha. So Ramena Vali Hataha. Let's see. Ramena Vali Hataha. Okay. Now here the Hataha is telling you about Vali. By this word Hataha, it tells you that the one who was being killed. Or one more thing you can do is that you can say Ramena Vali Hataha Asid Babuva. So even though this participle is kind of functioning like a verb in this thing, if you want to be explicit, you'd have to say Ramena Vali Hataha Babuva. Hataha Asid. So she was killed. So that killed, that participle which is implying the verb Babhuva, is telling you about Vali. So Vali is still the karma and Rama is the karta. Because Rama is the one who's doing the action of killing. Vali is getting killed. So he still has the karma sanya. But he will now take the prathama vibhakti just as Sita took prathama vibhakti because he's become abhita. So this is a general gist of it, because what happens if you don't know this anabhite business, then so let me just put here, your Vali is abhita. If you don't know this, if you look at the Sutram Karmani Dvitiya, and then if you see Sita and Vali are still Karma Sanya they have, then how come they didn't take Dvitiya Vibhakti is a question that comes to mind. Your Vali is abhita. Okay. Abhita. Okay. Abhita. Okay. So all these rules, and the one that we are concerned about right now, because we're going to move on to the niche usage, is the 2.3.18 which we saw. Kartakarnayos Tritiya. Kartakarnayos Tritiya. So now let's go to our present topic at hand. So what we had this sentence which we saw last time is Balakaha Gramam Gacchati. Now clearly Balakaha is Abhita. He is the Karta. Because Gacchati told you something about Balakaha. And Gacchati is a third person singular form. Prathama Purusha Ekavachanam. Karta has to be compatible with that. Now, but when we brought in the Prayojakaha, Tat Prayojako Hetuhu, his Pita is the Hetu now. He's instigating the boy, he's propelling the boy, causing the boy to go to the village. So, say, Pita Balakam Gramam Kameti. So, now the Pita and the Balaka both have the Kartru Sanya. They are both Karta. Again, why both are Karta? Because we saw that in the 1.4, Swatantra Karta, I think it was about 1.4, was it Swatantra Karta, Tat Prayojako Hetuho. That we saw that, here it is, no, it's this one, 1.4.54, Swatantra Karta, Tat Prayojako Hetushcha. So, means that Hetu and the Karta who was there, they both have the Kartu Sanya. Again, I mentioned to you that how come the Balaka doesn't lose the Kartu Sanya? So, because now he is kind of under the influence of the Prayojakaha. He still has Swatantram, but so that is why he retains the Kartu Sanya. So, if you follow the same logic that we did before, then because now who is Abhita here in Gamayati? Who is Gamayati pointing to? What is driving Gamayati? I think we can, let's see, I think you can do it first. Hindu who's, so you can tell me Hindu who's driving Gamayati? Gamayati is driven by whom here?
Pita.
By Pita. Because if it says Pitarao, right? Pitarao, right. Mother and father, we have heard Pitarao Balakam Gramam Gamayataha. It will become Dvivachanam. So clearly the Balaka is not Abheta anymore. He is the Prayojakaha, which is in this case Pita, or you can, if you copy the same sentence down, and we'll see that the Pitaro will now drive the become Gamayataha. So the Balaka is no longer Abheta. So then Hindu, what vibhakti should he take? So,
well,
I mean, not, let's say right now.
Normally would have taken Tritiya.
Exactly. Normally Tritiya. Because he is the Karta, he is Anabheta. And now we just mentioned that in the 2.3.18, let's go 2.3.18, Karta Karanayos Tritiya. So that's the situation that we have at hand right now. So is the Ani Karta, means the Karta when the Nijavastha was not there. So is the Balaka in this case. Now he became Anabheta when the Prayojaka came. The Prayojaka became Abheta. So, and still he has a Kartu Sanya, and then he will be subject to the Tritiya Vibhakti now by the Karta Karanayos Tritiya, which we don't want. We don't want the Karta Karanayos Tritiya because the usage in the language, we means in the language, the usage is such that we have to say, it's Pita Balakam Gamayati, Atva Pitarao Balakam Gamayataha. So we need to get the Dvitiya Vibhakti on the Balaka. So in fact, we need to get the Karma Sanya on the Balaka. So we need to get that. Okay, so let's now see what we have to. So what the sutram which does that for us is what we saw last time briefly. There are only two rules which are look in detail. Okay, so the entire in the book, which you're looking at the book, these two pages, this one, the bottom of this page, and also the entire next page which I have over here. All this is pointing to only those two rules, the 1452, 1453 Nashtadhyayi. So all the way up to here, up to this one, which is what we'll do today in detail. And if we have time, we can look at the next part. So up to here, the objective case, everything we're going to do today is going to be only two rules in Ashtadhyayi, 1452, 1453. So let's look at those and see what they're saying. 1452, 1453. So let's look at 1452, see what that is saying. It is saying Gati Buddhi Pratyavasanartha Shabda Karma Karmakanam Karta Sarnau. Sorry, Anikarta Sarnau. Okay. So the Karta, the Anikarta means Ani Avasthayam Karta. Who was the Karta in for these set of dhatus? What is dhatus we have? Gati Buddhi Pratyavasanartha. This artha means in those meanings. Okay, in those meanings. So it will be gatyartha, buddhyartha, pratyavasanartha. So pratyekam sambandhyate. That's the rule in samasas. When you have this dvandva garbha samasaha, this gati buddhi pratyavasana is a dvandva samasa. And on top of the dvandva samasa, you put the word artha at the end. So then you have to, this artha will go with each one of them. So gatyartha, buddhyartha, pratyavasana. So not only the dhatu gam, but any dhatu in the sense of motion. Now that's a big class because there are many dhatus which in the word for the sake of motion. For example, you say samsaraha chalati. You know, you say Bhagavan samsaram chalayati. He makes it move. So, but you can say same thing. You know, it says balakaha vanam yati. You can say pita balakam vanam yapayati. So gatyartha, buddhyartha. Buddhyartha means any understanding, recognition. It's also a big category. There are anything understanding, recognition, cognition. So any kind of cognition that also is under that will be included in that category. Now, pratyavasana is for consuming, for eating, drinking. So bhakshanam. So this is what anything which you eat. So these three important categories, and then also shabda karma. Shabda karma is a technical term. It means that the action involving words. This is the adhyapanam. When you teach somebody, particularly the Veda adhyapanam, when the teacher teaches the student by reciting, student repeats. So that is what we mean shabda karma. It's kind of a that's a narrow category. This one is a narrow category. Shabda karma is a narrow category. So the other three were huge categories. And then one more huge category, akarma kanam. That's a huge category now. So anything which is akarmaka dhatu. And of all these dhatus, the one which was the anikarta, when the nijavastha comes, so now when the prayojaka comes, then that anikarta gets the karma sanya. So now this karma sanya will come, and then you get the karmani dvitiya by 232. So this is how we got this sentence. How we got this pita balakam gramam gamayati. So here, say pita balakam gramam gamayati, we use these two sutras now, which is the 1452 to give balaka the karma sanya, and then 232, which is karmani dvitiya. So when you say pita balakam, same as last time, but I don't want to put last time's document. Put it down here. Pita balakam gramam gamayati. So here we have to use so balakam will get the dvitiya bhakti by 1452. Gati buddhi pratyavasanartha shabda karma karmakanam 1452 gives balaka the karma sanya. Gives balaka the karma sanya. And then and then after that and 232 and mandates the Dvitiya Vibhakti for him. Mandates Dvitiya. That's the process. Okay, so this is what we have to, what's the subject of this remaining of this lesson now, which is this one. So that's what is happening here. Now, to that shloka which you looked at the end of last class was a beautiful verse in Siddhanta Kaumudi, which gives nice examples of all these categories of dhatus mentioned there. So let's look at this one again one more time. So it says, Shatrun agamayat swargam. The karta, the prayojaka of all these is Shri Harihi. Shri Harihi. So Yaha Shri Harihi. So the Lord Vishnu, he says Shatrun agamayat swargam. So let's see what will be the ani avastha over here. Let's see. Can you answer that? Let's see, Induji, can you answer that? Where the ani avastha? No. See, if let's say Shri Hari was not in the sentence, there was no cause. What would have been the ani avastha? You want to try, Hindu?
Uh,
So make
Shatrubihi?
No, you have to make Shatru in the Prathama then, right? They will be the Karta.
Oh, they'll be the Karta, right.
So Shatravaha.
Shatravaha, right.
Shatravaha. The Sargam remains Sargam only.
Swargam.
That doesn't change, Sargam. Okay? Now Agamayat is what? You have to maintain the same Lakaraha. So the Lakaraha was the Lang Lakara, Agamayat. If you take Shatravaha as the Karta now, take the Dhatu Gam, and if you want to make the Lang Lakara out of that in the third person plural, what will be? Shatravaha Sargam Agachan. Sargam Agachan. Shatravaha Sargam Agachan. So Shri Harihi Shatrun Sargam Agamayat. Which the Ani Avastha. That's what you do for all of these. So you have to make the when the Prayojaka is gone, then this Shatru becomes the Karta in the Ani Avastha. And this one will remain the same, and we have to now make this Dhatu without the niche to match that Karta, which is the Shatravaha. So if you be in the Ani Avasthaya, if you can put this, we'll put in the document Ani, and that we can do same way for all the others, So you can remove that niche and see what I think what I will do, let me copy this shloka down here. I don't keep on going back down there. So you're going to see that. This is a very nice, worth memorizing, by the way. I like this verse. This is Siddhanta Kaumudi. I said to you many times, the Siddhanta Kaumudi is the one book you want to have in your hand at all times. So, there's one book for Vyakaranam, it is Siddhanta Kaumudi. Always refer to that, always, try to understand at least few parts of it. It will be very, very useful. So, okay. All right. So the Ani Avastha, if you take the Ani Avastha, which is no Prayojaka is there. So Ani Avastha, when you Ani Avastha, actually technically speaking, we should make the Sandhi, make it Ani Avastha, but I'm keeping it separate just for simplicity, because in the Samasa the Sandhi should be done all the time. But anyway, I'm keeping it like that just to be understood. The Ani Avastha, it would have been Shatravaha. Shatravaha. It will be Swargam, subject, object, verb. So Swargam, and then Agachan. Swargam Agachan. Swargam Agachan. That would have been Ani Avastha. Swargam Agachan. Instead, now we have Shatrun Shri Harihi. Shatrun Agamayat Sargam, because this is the Gati Artha. So remember that where we are, we have to connect these to one of these meanings. So it is taken in order. So Gati is the first one. So the next one which he gives is that Vedartham Swan Avedayat. So Swan Janan, Devan basically. So he imparted the knowledge of the Vedas to his own people. So what would have been the Ani Avastha for the limit try? You want to try, Anuji? Try for this one. What would have been the Ani Avastha?
Yes, Satishji. That's Swan will come in the
Will become Pratama.
Pratama.
So this is a Sarvanama Shabda like Sarva. So we get sway.
Oh, sway.
Like survey. So sway. Vedartham will remain Vedartham only, as like before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about the Avedayat? So, this is the
That'll be away.
we have to make we have meet the lung lakara form.
Yeah.
Now we want the Prasana Purusha Bahuvachanam. So,
Away then, won't that be?
so we don't, the niche will not come anymore. This is second Gana Dhatu, right? This Dhatu is second Gana.
Oh, okay. Yes. Uh-huh.
Any special prize for today? What will be the form? My favorite, let's ignore Gita for today. My favorite shloka in Gita for this one is this one. I'll tell you which one. It is the one in the, this is a special rule for Anuji. Becomes Abiduhu. Yes, let me unmute Hema. Yes. Hello, Hema. The form is Vedaha. No, not Vedaha. Because we want a lung lakara form, Hema. So we need a form like, let's do it in detail. Let us look at it. So what we're looking for is a third person plural of dhatu with, and so we have the adagamaha, then we have dhatu with, and this because this is second gana dhatu, you say the shapluk, the shapah shapluk. So shap will come and go, and then the pratyaya will be tip, right? So tip. So if we didn't have any other rule, what would have been the form? It would be not tip, sorry, G. We're talking about the plural form. We're talking about the pratyaya G. So now, if you have Joanta, right? Like Agachan, you have been Joantaha, they would have had Itascha, you have had the form like Agachan would have become Avidan. Avidan would have been the form. And because this cannot do any guna, because this is Sarvadhatukam Apit. It's the Apit Sarvadhatukam, cannot do any guna. But it's a special rule. If let's go to the Gita. In chapter, let's look at chapter 4, I think it is. 4.1. Okay. Here's interesting shloka here. Evam parampara praptam imam rajashayo viduhu. Rajashayo viduhu. You can also say rajashayo aviduhu. So because of English padanta dati, there could have been avagraha here also. Rajashayo viduhu. So actually, aviduhu is the form. Now, how do you get that aviduhu? How can we get the us pratyaya here when we have G? Where do you think you find it, Anuji? Where do you find it, Sutram? Where would you find that Sutram? You can look for the us adeshaha for the pratyaya G. What do you think, Indu? Where do you find that one?
6.
Yeah. No, not that one. That's for Shatur pratyaya now. Right?
Right.
So, remember Sutram, Jejus.
Changes.
Mm.
Right.
Somewhere there.
Jejus is in 3-4.
Yeah, in
Towards
3.4.
the 80. 3.80.
So there's
3-4 105 or 108.
3.108.
No, 108.
You got the nice search tool. You don't have to think anymore. Just search. Just see how quickly it comes up. Just below that just is the next sutram. Sij abhyasya vidibhyascha. Vidibhyascha is dhatu with. Following that, this G becomes just. So let's look at it. 34109. Let's look at this one. 34109. If you look at that, 34109. Look at the vritti of 4109. So yeah, I took a tough one for you, Tanuji. Should have taken an easier one because the special sutram is coming. Sijabhyasya vidibhyascha. So 3-4. Of course, that's not the topic right now. So we just look at it quickly and move on. But okay, it says is that Sichaha abhyastat videshcha parasya nit sambandhina jejus. If you have dhatu with, following the lakara is a nit lakara, which we're looking at lung right now. The G becomes jus. So the G becomes jus. So sijabhyasya vidibhyascha. So we get, so of course here we use the 6471 we used. And we also use adipapradibhyashapa, I think 2482. Let's check that. Because the shap came and went away. Shap came and went away. Adipapradibhyashapa is 2482. Okay, 2482. No, I'm sorry. Adipapradibhyashapa is 2472.
72?
72, correct, 2472. 2472. And then we're going to make the G into jus by this 34109. This is abhyasta with abhyascha. We're going to make 1 a plus with plus jus. Of course, in the jus, these letters will be by chutu. And then navivaktavutu smaha. Navivaktavutu smaha. It will be 34109. And then the it letters here are going to be chutu. So only us will remain behind. Because us, I'm sorry, us. Only us will, because of chutu, 3137. And also navivaktavutu smaha. The final form will be a viduhu. A viduhu. Interesting form. So when you make the ani avastha for that one, we say swan vedartham avedayat. Now we'll have to make it. What will be the final form now? So we'll wait. Sway janaha. Sway janaha is vedartham. Vedartham aviduhu. Aviduhu.
Okay.
This will be the avastha. Vedartham. Vedartham will be aviduhu. Okay. So sway vedartham aviduhu. So swan vedartham avedayata. Anyway, so that we can do it same way for the remaining part of the shloka. So it's a very beautiful verse because it summarizes for you the entire set of those dhatus in 1450. So let's follow it down one more time. So this agamayat was gatyartha. This avedayat was the buddhyartha. So let's follow this one from 1452. 1452. Okay, so 1452. Okay, buddhyartha was this avedayat. Next one is pratyavasanartha. Anything in the sense of eating, consuming. So that one is the ashayatcha amrutan devan. Dhatu is ashnasi. Yat karoshi yadashnasi, right? Bhagavad Gita. We can also search for that. Which chapter is that? Yat karoshi yadashnasi. Yat juhoshi dadasiyat. Yat tapasyasi kaunteya. Tat kurusha madarpanam. So chapter 9. Yat karoshi yadashnasi. So ashnasi. Karoshi yadashnasi. Ashnami. Here's Ashnami comes also in 926. Ashnasi comes in 927. So dhatu ash. Then so here what we have the dhatu ash with the nich pratyaha. So will become ashi nich pratyaha. Then after that you add again the lang lakaraha becomes the form ashayat. Ashayat, the aragama, artishcha vriddhi, and so on. So ashayat. Just like gamayat, ashayat. Ashayat. Ashayat chamrutan dev. This is pratyavasanartha. Now vedam adhyap, this is pratyavasanartha. Now vedam adhyapayad vidhim. So this one is this dhatu adhi plus e, ing adhyane. How about the puk agamaha? Anybody? Puk agamaha we did in the class. So puk agamaha comes from which sutram over here? Remembers that? Recalls that puk agamaha. Puk agamaha. Arti rivi, right? That'll be what? 7-3. Let's see if I can check the puk agamaha. Puk
7-3-36 maybe.
36, I think puk. Puk. No. Let me search for now. I think you're right. Let's see. Yeah, I think Arti Rivli Kshmai Atam Puk now. So that the Puk Agama was 7336. Yeah, I think Indu had it. 7336. Yes, Indu?
Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah,
Arti.
7336. Arti. So 7336. So this one is the Puk Agamaha. But the meaning here is a Shabda Karma. The Karma is the third meaning. And then comes Asaya Salile Prithvim. This dhatu as is to sit, aste. Comes in Gita, ya aste manasasmaran. So asayat. So asayat means again the lang lakara form with the nishpatyaha. So this is akarmaka. So it is when the Prithvi was the Anikarta, she now became in Dvitiya. It became Karma, it became Dvitiya. And Yaha Sa Me Shri Harir Gatihi. So one who did all of this, so he's my goal, my destination. So, okay, so now let us look at, now the remaining part is this. There are some details there, but let's go to this sutra. I think we did it last time. Let's do it one more time today. Let's look at 1452, 53. There are some Vatikams over here. Let's see what the book is saying and connect that to the Vatikams. And there are some interesting things going on to see. But the gist of it is we already saw. While the next sutram is saying Rukror Anyatarasyam. Rukroho means dhatu Ru and Kru. Anyatarasyam. So they will, so the Anikarta of these two dhatus, Ru means to take away, Haranam, and Kru, of course, you all know, concurrently. For these two dhatus, the Anikarta will now become the karma optionally. Comes in the Ramayanam, right? Nalam Ramaha, Nalam Setumakarayata. Nalam Setumakarayata. Sri Ramaha got the bridge built by Nala, or made Nala to build the Setu. So could have been Nalena Setumakarayata or Nalam Setumakarayata. Can be two forms. So that Nala, so simple sentence would be Nalaha Setum Akarot. So Nalaha built the Setu, build the bridge. So that means, so for 1453, so the dhatu Ru and Kru, there are these, you could have optional forms. You take the Ani Avastha, you have Nalaha, Vanara Vishesha, special monkey that he was, says Setum Akarot we get, and that is this is the Ani Avastha. Ani Avastha, when there is no Prayojakaha, Ani Avastha. And then we become Ramaha, Shri Ramaha, Nalam Athva Nalena, Nalam or Nalena, one could be another one, Nalena, Setumakarayata. This is Ramayanam, the very Ramayanam which you're doing in the Saturday class, this comes in that, Nalam Setumakarayata. We're going to see that soon. Nalena.
Satish ji?
Yes.
Nalah Setum, right? I think the typo there seems to be.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. Nalaha Setum, not Setum. Setumakar. Thank you. Nalaha Setumakar. Nalaha Setumakarot. In the Nijavasthayam, we get the. So this is the Niyavastha. This is the Niyavastha. Okay. Sri Ramaha Nalam Matva Nalena Setum Akarayata. So that's that 1453 sutra. 1453 with Rukro Anyatarasyam. Rukroho Anyatarasyam. But as I said, these have some details on them. So let's look at these two now. Let's go to the first one. Let's look at Kashika and see what it says. So first thing it says Artha Shabdaha Pratyekam Abhi Sambajyate. Means that this Artha Shabdaha means this Gati Buddhi Pratyavasanartha. This Artha connects to each one of these three preceding elements. We just talked about that. Is Buddhyartha, there's a typo here. Okay? It should be Gati. Gatyartha, Buddhyartha, Pratyavasanartha. And then so that she gives in the next sentence. It's very nice to get the entire Kashika Vritti in your head for this one shloka, for the one sutra. See, Kashika, just like Siddhanta Kaumudi should be in one hand, Kashika in the other. That is the Vyakarana Panthaha. This you should have. And if you can understand the entire Kashika for one sutram, it's very useful, because that now gets you into the mode of understanding how the Vrittikara, how he phrases things, how he says, how he puts, The more of the Kashika and Kaumudi you can understand, even small things, doesn't matter, small things, they will give you confidence, because all these classes can do is make the Kaumudi accessible to you and make the Kashika accessible to you. Because that is Pramana. We are only giving you the tools to understand these texts. So for this shloka, we can go to this whole, sutra, We can go through this whole vritti and see, because of course it's an easy one, doesn't matter. At least we got some easy ones, then we can go more difficult ones afterwards. So, Gatyarthanam, so he took them pratyekam, he already told you pratyekam savisambhadyate, connects to each one of them. So that's he's expanding on that now. So Gatyarthanam, Buddhyarthanam, this Buddhyarthanam, and then Pratyavasanarthanam, Cha, Dhatunam. The Dhatunam is what's qualifying. Okay, that's what it says. And Tatha, again, typo should be Tatha. Tatha, Shabda Karmakanam, Akarmak, again, a typo, Akarmakanam, Cha, Anyantanam. So when they didn't have the Nishpatya with them, like Balaka, Gramam, Gachati. So, Nalaha, Setum, Akarot. No niche is there. So, Anyantanam, Yah Karta. So, who was the Karta at that time? Saha, that same Karta, Balaka or Nalaha, or the Shatrun, whatever it might be, Shatravaha, Saha, Niyantanam karma sanya bhavati. So when the Nishpatya, when the Dhatu takes the niche, then this Anikarta becomes a karma. Gives examples now. Gacchati Manavak, same example that we just saw. Gachavati Manavako Gramam. Manavakaha. Manavakaha is like a boy or a student. Let's see, Manav. I hope you use this Apte dictionary also, very nice. You can look at the Manavakaha, because you can use all these tools to expand your vocabulary and look at that one. So Manavakaha is a lad or a boy or a youth, youngster, like a young boy, student, man. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just a boy, a boy, simply English, a boy. So, okay, so we can, so Manavakaha, Gramam Gacchati, he goes, but then Gamayati, Kopi, you can say Adhyapakaha or Guruhu, anyway, you can say Pita, somebody, Mata, Pita, Gamayati Manavakam Gramam. So Guruhu, Manavakam Gramam Gamayati. So Manavaka was still the Karta. So normally should have had, and he's now become Anabheta. Because Gamayati is now not telling about Manavakam, he's telling about somebody who is the Prayojaka, whoever it might be, Guru or whoever it might be. But Manavakam is still the Karta, and he was the Anabheta Karta. So he should have had Tritiya by Katyakarnayo Tritiya, but instead by this Sutram, he got the Karma Sanya. Karmani Ditiya. Next example is Yati, and he said, no, why did he give two examples here? Why two examples? Hindu, why two examples? Why not only one example? He already gave this Manavaka Gramam Gacchati. So why he gives again Yati Manavaka Gramam? Why does he do that? What do you think, Hindu? Any ideas?
It's Arthanam.
Very good, because the Arthana. Because he already told you that this is not only the Dhatu Gam, but this Gati Artha. So this is one thing I wanted to emphasize. I cannot emphasize too much, but all these examples which are given in Kashika and Siddhanta Kaumudi and the Mahabhashyam, these are really masterpieces. The amount of thought which goes into these examples is amazing, amazing. Every single detail, they give you the exact fit. They will never say anything extra, anything less also. Nyunam na adhikam apina. So yad uktam tadeva uchyate. Only what is the exact thing needed. So the examples in Kashika and Kaumudi and Mahabhashyam, you should pay great attention to these. And then your job is easy. All you have to do is what the example that you have in your usage or whatever you're studying, you just match that with an example in this text. And then you can say that this is the same as this example given here, so it has to be this. It's like, as I told you before, it's like if you're a lawyer and you go to the court, your job is to match your case with some case which the Supreme Court already ruled on. And if you do that, then that's your job. The rest of it belongs to the Supreme Court, not to you. So your job is done. So this, once you match it, the trick is, of course, to find the right Supreme Court case that you have to match it to, and that will then remaining is easy. That's why you have to have all those books. Then you have to. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm saying that's how it works. So here also same thing. You have to find in Kashika, Mahabhashyam, Kaumudi what Turji or the Kashikara or Pantajali has said. He said, because he has said this, mine is the same, so I do that. So these examples, pay great attention to that. They're very, very useful and also very intelligent, So yati manavako gramam, because it's gatyartha, not just dhatugam. Yapayati manavakam gramam. And now he's taking the, there's a vartikam now. Gatyartheshu nivyoho pratisheda vaktavyaha. Ni vayyoho, I'm sorry. Ni vayyoho. So ni and vah, these dhatus. Ni vayyoho. So when you take these two dhatus, they are gatyartha dhatus. So he leads or he carries. In that case, pratisheda vaktavyaha. I think if you let's follow the book also side by side, so we can do this one. Okay, let's start from the book in the let's do this page. He says the subject of intransitive verbs. So he's taking this part first. He's taking the akarmaka part first. That's the way Anton has taken it. He is focusing on the akarmaka. So if you look at 1452 again, is gati buddhi pratyavasanartha shabda karma akarmakanam. So akarmaka is what he's taking in the book first. So akarmakanam, so which is going to come in the kashika over here. It's going to come down here. If you look at the kashika, it's going to come down. Akarmakanam let's see, vakshayati. Here it is. Akarmakanam going to come down here. Is aste devadattaha. Devadatta sits somewhere, and asayati devadattam guruhu or pita mata, somebody makes devadatta sit. So shete devadattaha. So devadatta sleeps. Then shayati devadattam. He makes it. Somebody makes him sleep. So that is what the book is doing for us first. That part is taken. This is not in sutra order. It's taken this one first. Udyane vruksho rohati. A tree grows in the garden. Udyane vruksham ropayami aham. So aham ropayami. Again, this is also the roof becomes the pakara optionally. That rule is we saw that last time. That rule comes also in the same section in the 7.3. I think around 40 should come. I think
7.3.43.
43. Thank you. So ruhaha onyatarasyam. So when this dhatu ruf takes the nishpratyaha, it takes alone yasya pakaradesha anyatarasyam. So 7.3. So ropayami, I should say, will be the 7.3.43. Ropayami. I'm sorry. Ropayami. Ropayami. All right. Ropayami. 7.3.43. It takes the pakara adesha alone optionally. Okay. That's what the book is saying, is that ropayami. I make the tree grow. So it's akarmaka dhatu, The second one is mitrayatam kupyasi. So you're angry with your friend. Of course, here the sampradana sanya is by 1437. One, because this is certain dhatus are mentioned in 1437. Let's go to that one for a second. 1437. 1437 says krudha, druha, irsha, aisha, and then asuyarthanam yam pratikopaha. So these sets of dhatus, the one that you are angry with, or the one that you hate, or whatever, that takes sampradana sanya. Chaturthi sampradane. Again, the same thing. This only gives sampradana sanya, and then you get the chaturthi sampradane. Chaturthi sampradane. Chaturthi sampradane will be in 2.3. So the same chaturthi sampradane. Let's see. One. 2.3.30. Chaturthi sampradane. So those two put together give you this usage. And then he says, when you bring the nij avastha, you get the mitrayatvam kim kopayati. So now remember, this mitraya, you can say, well, this is not akarmaka anymore. You're angry with your friend, but it did not take karma. It took a sampradana sanya. So that dhatu kup, which is the krodhartha dhatu, that took the sampradana sanya for mitra. So mitra took sampradana sanya, not the karma sanya. So still akarmaka is still holding here. That's why I say mitraya tvam kim kopayati. Who makes you angry with your friend? Because the tvam, the yushmat, was the anikarta. He took the karma sanya. And then he goes on to say that the subject of transitive verbs, using non-causative form in the anikarta, for the sakarmaka dhatus, is usually put instrumentally. We already saw that because of kartikarana yostitiya. Kartikarana yostitiya. So usually put in the instrumental usually means that if 1452, 1453 are not applying, then you go to 2318. Nothing else is coming there because it retains the karta sanya and kartikarana sthiti. I think usually is probably a difficult to say because the 1452, 1453 includes many important dhatus. The gatyartha, buddhyartha, I mean the pratyavasanartha, also the ru and the kru. So a large set of dhatus is taken out. So what we like to say is that if 1452, 53 doesn't apply, then in that case the karta sanya is not lost. You make it kartikarana sthitiya. Example is dasi annam pachati. The maid serves, cooks the food. And sa swamini dasya annam pachayati. She gets it cooked through her, by her. So she gets the food cooked. In English, you would say it like that. She gets the food cooked by her. Okay. Now, so that was for that page. Now, the next page, we see this page says that the exceptions. Now, it's going to 1452 in detail. So, the following transitive verbs follow the same rule as the intransitive verb, which means 1452. That's what he means. So verbs denoting movement. The gatyat, we already saw that. Putro gramam gacchati, the son goes to the village. Pita putram gramam gamayati. So we saw that. Now he's talking about ni and vah. Do not conform to this rule. That's what we were in the Kashika. So it says ni vahyoho. So ni and vahi means dhatu vah. So pratisheda vaktavyaha gatyartheshu ni vyaho ni vahyoho pratisheda vaktavyaha. So he says nayati bharam devadattaha. Devadatta takes the load. Nayayati bharam devadattena. So says Swami, whoever is Natha, he gets the load taken by Devadatta. Same thing, Vahati carries bharam, Devadatta bharam Vahati. So Va is not going to typo here, should be Vahayati. Vahayati bharam Devadattena. So Ni and Vahi, they don't follow this Gatyartha rule. They go back to they retain, they don't get this Devadatta doesn't get the karma sanya, he retains the karta sanya, and he will get the tritiya vakartikarana stitiya 2318. That's what the book is saying over here. Is the ni and vah do not conform to this rule. So dhatri, the nurse, shishum nayati, she takes the child, carries the child. Mata dhatriya shishum nai. So mata is tas prayojako hetuho, she is the hetuho, and the dhatri was the anikarta. So she retained the karta sanya. She worked at the vartikam. She bypassed 1452, and then kartikarana stitiya dhatriya. So mother makes the nurse carry the child. So same thing, the same example from Devadatta bharam vahati, daso bharam vahati. Same example. Bharta is bhartru is the master. The master gets the load carried by the servant. So dasena bharam vahayati. So
Satishji,
yes, sir.
Dadati, which category does it come under?
It is not in this.
It's not in this category.
It should not
It's
be. Dadati
purely
to give, right? Oh. Let's take an example. Let's say yajamanaha, right? You can say gam dadati. Yajamanaha gam dadati. How will you make? Let's say you put guru as the prayojaka. Now how will you do it? So guruho yajamanena gam dapayati. So So he gets the cow donated through the Yajamana or by the Yajamana. So it is not, because it's not Gatyartha, it's not the Buddhyartha, it's not understanding, cognition. It's not the, it's not eating, consuming anything. It's not akarmaka, it's not Shabda Karma, not learning Vedas. And then it is not also Ru and Kru. So it will be Yajamanena, by the Yajamanaha, the Guru gets the donation, gets the cow to be given. So it will not be in this list. It's not in this list.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now it says, but wah means to blow or to flow. So it is intransitive. So this is only for the, because if it falls in the akarmaka, so bottom line is that if you fall in any of these categories in 1452, then you have to, it will get the karma sanya. So 1452, any of these. So when the dhatu ni or vah means when it is intransitive, so say nadi vahati, the river flows, then it will again come back under 1452. Only sakarmaka avastha, only that one that the pratisheda will hold. So we have to, this example given here is in the book is like this. It says nadi, I'm sorry, not ni, only vah. Because when you have the dhatu ni, it will be sakarmaka only, right? It will be sakarmaka. You lead something, right? So vah means to blow or to flow. So then it says nadi vahati. Srashta means, Brahmaji. Srashta nadim vahayati. Nadim vahayati. So that is the, again, is akarmaka usage. So you can make him nadim vahayati. Okay. Now comes the pratyavasana. So let's go to Kashika again and follow that one. So we finished with the pratisheda here, did here. So nayati bharam devadat nayati bharam. So we did this one. Then he gives one more thing he gives here. Is this one we can probably skip because it's getting too much detail. But says vahehe anyantra kartakasya iti vaktavyam. So when this dhatu vah, somebody, when Devadatta is carrying, he's carrying on his own. It's not that he is being, made to carry by somebody. It's not, he's an independent carrier. It's not that he has somebody, who is controlling him. There's no controller for Devadatta when he was carrying. But he says, iha pratishedon ma bhoot. So vahanti yavan bali vardaha. So the bullocks, they carry the barley. So they are not really carrying on their own. Somebody is controlling them to carry, So vahanti yavan bali vardaha. And then vahayati yavan bali vardhaniti. So and when the bharta, he makes them carry. So now this will not be bali vardaihi. It will not be bali vardaihi. Because they were not, they were being controlled to carry. So anyway, that's, we can skip that. It's not in the book. So we skip that for the time being. Now next one, so this part, let's not worry too much about from here to here. But let's go to the next one. Buddhi artha. So buddhyate manavako dharmam. I think this is a typo. Is it? Okay, it's fourth gana. Okay, fine. Second, fourth gana. I think this dhatu buddh is a couple of ganas. It can be bodhati, buddhyate also it can be. So buddhyate manavako dharmam. So the boy understands dharma. But bodhayati manavakam dharmam. Again the typo here. Dharmam. This is the guru. So the guru makes the boy understand dharma. Same thing, buddhi artha. So vetti manavako dharmam, vedayati manavakam dharmam. Now, then in the book he was talking about eating and drinking, this pratyavasana. Pratyavasanam. So prati, ava, and dhatu shonta karmani means to make an end. So pratyavasana is to consume. So as I said, show means to put an end, to resolve. Like vyavasaya, how we said. So pratyavasana means to consume. He says, he also gives the meaning, abhyavaharaha. So abhi, ava, ru. So this combination, abhyavaharaha, also means intake, to consume something, abhyavaharaha. He says, bhunkte manavaka odanam. So the boy eats rice. Bhojayati manavakam odanam mata. So the mother makes the boy eat rice. Ashnati manavakaha odanam, because again it is the pratyavasana artha. It synonyms also. Ashnati manavakaha, again typo here, manavakaha, odanam, ashayati manavakam odanam. Now comes the Vartikam. Let's follow, let's go back to the book. If we come to this is a Vartikam. Now let's go back to the book and see what he said. He said, meaning eating and drinking, that's the Pratyavasana, Abhyavaharaha. So Bala Modakan Ashnanti, Balaha Modakan Ashnanti. So the boys eat the Modaka, sweet meat. So Mata Balan Modakan Ashayati. So you just saw that. Mother makes them eat the sweet meat. So Patikaha, Jalam Pibati, the traveler drinks water. Then Aham, I, Patikam Jalam Payayami or Payaye can become also. It can be, both of these are okay. I shouldn't have done like that in the book. Now what is happening here between Atmanipadam Parasyapadam, not to spend too much time because that's not the topic right now. But if you remember, we had gone to the section 1.3, starting with Nichascha, I think 1374. Look at Sutram Nichascha. So Nichascha basically says that when we have the Katravipraya Kriya Phalam, then we can use Atmanipadam. Then Sheshat Katri Parasyapadam. So basically, these Nijanta dhatus, they become Vayapadi. Because the condition of the Katravipraya Kriya Phala is not honored in the language. So people don't see whether the fruit of the action is coming to the Karta or not. According to that, we're supposed to use Atmanipadam Parasyapadam. So that's not being honored in the language. So this Nichascha effectively makes these Nijantas Vaipadis. So, but there were some special rules below that. So, and that was saying the some of these dhatus had to take Parasyapadam. Nehe. So this was coming over here. So Buddha, Yudha, Nasha, Jana, Ing Adhyane, Pru, Dru, Strubhyo Nehe. So when these dhatus are used, you can only use Parasyapadam. And then same thing, Nigarana Chalanarthebhya. So anything with regard to eating or moving. So that kind of connects to what we're looking at right now, because we're talking about a different topic, of course. But you should not say Gamayate. Only say Gamayati. Chalanarthebhya. Nigarana also. Nigaranarthebhya. So Nigaranartha can also take only the Parasyapadam. So what in the book right now we are having, in the book what he has given is the example, Aham Pathikam Jalam Payayami. That would have been fine. Payayami would have been because of this sutram which you are just seeing. It says that if these dhatu in the meaning of Nigarana means to swallow. Nigaranartha. It has to, if it's the Nijanta dhatu, Nijavastha, it has to take Parasyapadam only, the affix Parasyapadam. But so then Payayami should have been perfectly fine. In fact, Payaye should have been incorrect. So, but the next one, 1389, comes and says that Na Pa, dhatu Pa is here. Dam and some other dhatus are here. For these dhatus, this prior restriction of using only Parasyapadam does not apply. That means they go back to Nichascha. So these set of dhatus in 1389 which are given, they will go back to Nichascha. So you can use either one with them, either one. So you don't have to use only Atmanipadam. When it's Katravipraya Kriya Phale, then Atmanipadam, then Sheshat Parasyapadam. So basically 1389 says these dhatus are exempt from those prior conditions that they have to be Parasyapadam. They will go back to the usual Nichascha by 1374. So let me just put in the document maybe. So Payaye, Payayami. Both will be fine. Both will be fine. I think in the last class I may have said a what thing. So Payaye Atva Payayami. So Payayami. And that is because of the 1389, basically says these will now obey Nichascha only, not the condition Nigaranartha, first Kevalam Parasyapadam. So that Niyamaha will not apply here. So, okay, this is just on the side, but let's continue with the book, what he saying, aham patikam jalam payayami atha paye, either one, I make the traveler drink water. Now there's a Vartikam. Let's go back to Kashika. It says the Vartikam says that, let's see examples of Kashika. No, the Vartikam. Adi khadyoho pratisheda vaktavyaha. Typo is this should be a murdhanya shakara over here. So adi khadyoho pratisheda vaktavyaha. So this prior condition, pratyavasanartha, which we saw, for the dhatu ad and dhatu khad. Of course, the adi khadi, adi khadyoho. The adi and khadi are the nijavastha of those dhatus. So pratisheda vaktavyaha. So these don't follow that rule about the pratyavasanartha, the anikarta becoming karma, is not followed for these two dhatus. So atti manavakaha odanam, alayate manavakena odanam. So the boy eats the rice, so somebody gets the rice eaten by him, so eaten through him. Somebody makes the rice to be eaten by him. Same thing, khadati manavakaha, khadayati manavakena. So this ad and khad, and they become adi and khadi with a nich pratyaya. They don't follow that rule. And one more Vartikam, bhakshehe, dhatu bhaksha, ahimsarthasya pratisheda vaktavyaha, ahimsartha. Now what is the himsa and bhaksha? Interesting concept. While eating, if it's done eating is without himsa, in that case also they should not follow this rule of the anikarta becoming karma. Give the example here. Bhakshayati pindim devadatta. I think devadatta eats like a cookie. Devadatta eats the cookie. So bhakshayati pindim devadattena. So devadattena. So kopi bhakshayati. So by him, somebody gets it eaten by him, through him. Ahimsa arthasya kim. What's the ahimsa? This is a rare meaning, so we can skip this one. But since the Vartikam says that, let's look at it quickly. Bhakshayanti balivardaha sasyam. The bullocks, they eat the corn. I guess they injure the plant while eating it. So destroy the plant also while eating it. So bhakshayanti balivardan sasyam. If somebody makes the bulls eat the corn, so then you don't use the tritiya. So you go back, this Vartikam will not apply. You go back to this 1452. So bhakshayanti balivardan sasyam. That's what he's saying. Let's see what the book says on this. The book is saying, the next one is ad, khad, and bhaksha, because that meaning of the himsartha bhaksha is the rare meaning, so that's why we don't have to worry about that too much. Shatruna visham khadayati, bhakshayati adayati. So shatruho visham khadati atva atti atva bhakshayati. Dhatu bhaksh is also 10th gana already. It will be bhakshayati, form bhakshayati only. Same form. You do not know whether it is the prayojaka is there or not. So says, so he makes the enemy eat the poison. Okay, so that's what given here, because if you look at the Kashika example which we saw, because even the interesting thing is here that it says bhakshayati, same form, right? See, bhakshayati pindim devadattaha, bhakshayati pindim devadattena. So you don't know whether it is the prayojaka is there or not. Okay. Then the next thing in the book, we already saw that, is the buddhyartha. Understand, read, see, speak, to kind of to comprehend anything. It says shishyaha pustakam adhite bodhanti cha bodhanti. So the adhiyate, I think he's combining those two meanings, because if you look at the next page, I think he has combined those two meanings of the shabda karma and the buddhyartha. Shabda karma buddhyartha. So this one, okay. I think what he has done in the book is combine those two to study. So the shabda karma, which is that adhi, basically that single dhatu, that adhi dhatu, ing adhyane. So that one, anything to cognize, to recognize, or to understand. So understand, the read. I think the read is the one that he's taking to mean from that's not cognition, that's the shabda karma. Means I guess you read aloud, shabda karma. You make the, you pronounce those words, shabda karma. To see, to speak, read and speak probably is taken from there. Understand, to see is the buddhi artha. So there might be some overlap here. Any kind of understanding, recognition, or the adhi dhatu. Shishyaha pustakam adhite bodhanti cha. They study the book and they understand. Pupils read the book and they understand the book. So this Guruhu Shishyan Pustakam Adhyapayati. So this Shishyaha was the Anikarta, Kartaraha. Dechu Karma Sanya, then Karmani Dvitiya, Shishyan Pustakam Adhyapayati, Bodhayati cha. He makes them, he teaches them book and he makes them understand. Makes them read and understand the book. That's what he says. So I think read is taking as that Shabda Karma. Probably speak also. I think these two looks like he's taking, because this is not the Buddhi Artha. Understand and see is Buddhi Artha. Okay. We can take Pashati also, right? So Balakaha Pustakam Pashati, Guruhu Balakam Pustakam Pashayati. Pashayati is also can take there. Now next page. So that was the in the Kashika we are looking at. We already saw those two, the Buddhi Artha and the Shabda Karma. Now I think we are now okay. He has given Shabda Karma Kanam Adhite Manavako, again typo here, Manavako Vedam, then Adhyapayati Manavakyam Vedam, Guruhu Adhyapayati, Pashati Manavako Vedam, he reads, Pashayati Manavakam Vedam. Thing. In Akarmakanam, it says Aste, we already saw in the book, Aste Devadattaha, Asheti Devadattam. This is also a big category. So any Akarmaka Dhatu. How about in Gita? Well, actually we won't have. So let's say Arjunaha. No, I guess it will not have. I was thinking of the word stha. Okay. You say Rataha Tishtati is in Ratham Sthapayati. Ratham Sthapayati. Ratham Sthapayamechyuta, right? Ratham Sthapayati. He makes the chariot stand. You see parks it. Parking. So Rataha Tishtati. Shri Krishna Ratham Sthapayati. He makes it. You don't say Rathena. Ratham Sthapayati. Okay. Same thing here. Shete Devadatta sleeps. Shayati Devadattam. Devadattam. Again, look at this Akarmaka form. I think this also connects back to this one which you're looking at. The it says Anav Akarmaka Chittavat Krtaka. So the same thing, this Parasnipadam was that one who was the Akarmaka in the Aniyavastha. So there is some connection here between these set of rules which are talking about the Parasnipadam only, and this set of rules we are talking about the Karma Sanya. There's no real connection, right? There's no real apparent connection, but these dhatus, similar dhatus here also. Your Nigranartha you had over here, means to eat or consume. Chalanartha you had, which is the Gatyartha, same there. Akarmaka also you had, of course it has one more condition here, but Akarmaka is there, and there also Dhatu Buddh is there. So there is some overlap here in these sets of dhatus. The same sets of dhatus which are making the Anikarta into karma, they're also coming here in some ways to say only Prasyapadam can be used. If you look at all the examples in the Kashika, if you noticed that all these endings he is using, they're all Prasyapadam endings, So Devadattaha Aste Asayati. It was Atmanipadam dhatu, but it became Asayati, because of this sutram over here. Even though normally Nichascha being makes Ubhayapadi, but this one is saying that Anau Akarmakat Chittavat Kartrakat. As long as the doer is some sentient being, Akarmaka dhatu, then if it becomes a niche, comes after that, it can take only Prasnipadam endings. So that is what we were looking at. So let's go here. Okay, and then he gives Ete Shamiti Kim. Why only these dhatus? Then Pachatyodanam Devadatta, same as in the book we saw in Antoine. and pachayati odram devadattena iti. Okay, so that's what we are looking at. Let's see the book now, what he says. Okay, dhatu drish, to see, conforms his rule in the parasya padam, only atmani padam optionally does so. Okay, this is the Vartikam on the next sutram. Let's look at the next sutram. Go to the next rule. Says, okay, he says rukroho anyatarasyam. So anikarta, sir now iti vartate. Lot of typos here. Should be ani, should be karta, sir now from the prior sutram. All that comes down to this sutram. From the prior sutram we had all this anikarta sir now, that entire condition. So it's coming here, this anikarta sir now. So same concept. The karta who was the anikarta, when the nish pratyaya comes, what happens to him? The same thing. And it says haratehe karotescha, these two dhatus. Anyantayoho means when they did not have this causation in them. Yah karta, who was the karta at that time, saha, that same karta. Nyantayoho, when they have taken nish pratyaya, anyatarasyam karma sanya bhavati. Anyatarasyam is optionally. So anyatara means in the other, in the optional case. In the other case means that optionally saptami bhakti anyatarasyam karma sanya bhavati. So harati bharam manavakaha, again a typo here. Should be harayati bharam manavakam atva manavakena itiva. These two options, manavakam, manavakena. Then karoti katam devadattaha, karayati katam devadattam devadattena itiva. So this is now. So here's the Vartikam. Abhivadanam. It's not in the book, so let's not worry about that right now. And drishoho, atmane pade upasankhyanam. In the atmane padam, these also will take optionally the anikarta will become karma optionally. So what he says, abhivadati gurum devadattaha, abhivadayati gurum devadattena va. So let's see abhivad. Meaning of abhivad, if you want to look, again you can, let's try to use these tools. Let's go to Apteji, let's see abhivad, abhivadati. So see what Aptej is for abhivad. Abhivad, abhivadati. Okay, abhivakt. So to address, to speak reference, to call. I think address is a good meaning, abhivadati. Abhivadati devadattaha gurum. So he addresses his guru. But then the next one comes that abhivadayate gurum devadattam devadattena va. It was only in atmane padam. Nichasya sutram, this can take both endings. Only in atmane padam, these two dhatus, abhivad and the dhatu drish. So abhivadi drishoho, that is the Vartikam on this sutram. So this 1453 has its Vartikam. In the book we don't have the abhivad, we only have the dhatu drish. So abhivadi drishoho atmanepade upasankhyanam. Let's look at dhatu drish now. Pashyanti bhrityaha rajanam. So the workers, they look at the king. Darshayate bhrityan rajanam. So bhrityan darshayate atva bhrityaihi darshayate. So they somebody shows the king to the workers. So you can take bhrityan or bhrityaihi. By him, they get the seeing done through them. Or the English is hard to translate in English, So makes them see the king. Apane kim darshayati chaitram maitram aparaha. So somebody else, makes him see, this chaitram, he makes him see maitram. Somebody makes darshayati. Okay. Now, he says, Prapta Vikalpanat Ditya Eva. Interesting thing now. Try to follow this now. Is Prapta Vikalpanat. What does that mean? Prapta Vikalpanat. Because the Ditya was was the Karma Sanya, because this Dhatu Drush will come under the Buddhyartha Dhatus. In the prior Sutram, we saw this Buddhyartha Dhatus. So, because of Gati Buddhi, this Buddhi into any kind of understanding, recognition. So, seeing also comes in the Buddhyartha. So in the Dhatu Drish, if this Vartikam was not there, then by 1452, Drish, the Anikarta of the Drish, should have taken the Karma Sanya only all the time. We should have only had usages like this one. We should have only had this kind of usage, which is the Darshayati Chaitram Maitram Aparha. But he says, so Prapta Vikalpanat, but that Karma Sanya was Prapta. Tasya Vikalpanat, but that the Vikalpa, the Vartikam did the Vikalpa only for that Ditya which was Prapta. So Ditya is Prapta, and Vikalpa was made to say that, it will be optionally will be Prapta. So when the Vartikam doesn't apply, when you don't have the Atmanipadam, then you go back to the Prapti only, which is the Karma Sanya. Prapta Vikalpanat Ditya Eva. Okay, but then Dhatu Abhivad. Abhivadayati Gurum Manavakhena Pita. Aprapta Vikalpatvat Titiya Eva. That is what it's saying. So here from this Abhivad was not coming in these sets of dhatus of 145. So there was no prapti. The Karma Sanya was not prapta at all. It was not at all there. So because Gati, Abhivad is to address. Now Gati, Buddhi, Satyavasanartha, Shabda Karma. Shabda Karma is like reading or studying, So that's not it. So Akarma Kana obviously not. So here the Abhivad, it was not in this list. So Vartikam did the Vikalpa of the Aprapta Karma Sanya. So Karma Sanya was not coming. And then, at that time Vikalpa was made. So then he's saying when the Vartikam doesn't apply, in Anyatarasyam, in the option state, then you go to back to the usual Kartakarnayo Sthitiya. Aprapta Vikalpatvat Sthitiya Eva. So that's what's happened. Anyway, that's just some details. Let's finish up from the book. What he's saying is that Dhatu Drish confirms rule in the Parasyapada because of this, the Buddhyartha. Buddhyartha, it confound the Parasyapada. So it say, we say, when we say Vanaraha Lankam Pashyanti. So the monkeys look at Lanka. Sugrivaha Vanaran Lankam Darshayati. Vanaran Lankam Darshayati. Sugrivaha makes them see Lanka. So, but if we take it in the Atmanipadam, Sugrivaha Vanaran Atva Vanaraihi Lankam Darshayate. In the Atmanipada optionally, because that's what the Vartikam said. So Tam Darshaya Graham, so show him the house, make him see the house. But Tam Matva Tena Graham Darshayasva. So if you use Atmanipadam. Next thing we already saw in detail, 1453, Ru and Kru, Kru and Ru, reverse order from the Sutram. Rukroha Sutram says, optionally govern their accusative or the instrumental. Rukroho Anyatarasyam. Rukroho Anyatarasyam. All these sutras, we repeat them as many times as we can. Varam Uccharanam Kartavyam. Uccharyaha. Uccharyani. Sutrani. So this is to be, that will really stick in your head. Rukroho Anyatarasyam. Rukroho Anyatarasyam. Particularly now that you have the search tools going, even if you know a part of the sutram, you can quickly come to this section. Even if you don't remember 1452, even if you know 1453 only, Rukroranyatarashyam, you can just search for that, Rukroranyatarashyam. Quickly you will find it in 1453. Just if you know Dhatu, Ru has that Vikalpa, Anyatarashyam. If you can just search the Ru and you come to the answer. So, okay. So this is what my teacher was saying. That now I'm telling you this, you will remember this for this evening. If I ask you 2 months from now, will you remember this again 2 months from now? So find out the things here that you can help you remember 2 months from now. What this sutram was that we decided. Because right now it's obvious. If from 2 months from now, will remember again? Paschat Smaranam Bhavishyati Va. So how to do that is keep some pointers in your mind. Of course, in the Karaka section is very easy. I told you that for Karaka there are only 2 small sections. All of 2.3 gives the Vibhakti assignments, Vibhakti Vidhanam, and 1.4 Karake section gives the Karaka Sanya, which is Karma Sanya, Atva, Karna Sanya. So it's very easy to find. There are only so many rules. So if you quickly go through it, you'll find it. This one is not very difficult. So other places though, you have to put something in your mind. I like to give Gita shlokas also so you can remember what you're talking about. Okay, let's look at the examples. Papam akaroho. So I committed a sin. No, you akaroho. You committed a sin. Then kaha tam papam akarayata. Who made you commit the sin? So, atva kas tvaya papam akarayata. Same thing, who made you commit a sin? Who got the sin done through you? I guess in English you can say that. It's not a passive usage though. It's hard to translate in English, this one, Because who made you commit the sin? That's easy. Kaha tvam papam akarayata. Kas tvaya, so by you. So who made the sin is difficult to say because it becomes like passive in English, It's not a passive construct. So in English, I think you just translate the same way. Who made you, who caused you to commit the sin? So next one, asanam hara, take away the seat, remove the seat. So hara, of course, the akoroha in the prior, this akoroha was the lang lakara. Hara is lot lakara. Dhatu rib, doesn't matter what lakara it is, but as long as dhatu ru or kru is there in the aniyavastha, the karta of that is going to become the karma in the niyavastha. That's the simple rule. It says vrityam atva vrithyena asanam haraya. So tvam haraya, because dhatu, it is madhyam purusha ekochanam, yushmat pradipadikam, it can only be tvam haraya. So to get the seat removed, so make the worker remove the seat. Okay, remove the seat. Okay, now next part, we have 15 minutes left. What I'd like to do is to give you just a gist of this next part. So also talking about Karakas again. He's talking about, the Panchami Bhakti. Now there are about, how many rules? There are 8 plus 8, about 16 rules only over here. Okay. So from 1, 4, 21, 24 to 31. And 2, 3, 28 to 35. So 1, 4, 24 to 31, we put in the document. So for the Panchami, when you look at the Panchami Bhakti, remember one thing though, the Vibhakti is assigned only in 2.3. The Apadana Sanya will be assigned in, the Karaka Sanya will be assigned in 1.4. Don't confuse these two. Because as I mentioned to you before, just because it's karma, it will not become Dvitiya all the time. When it becomes passive, that the same karma, we still have the Karma Sanya. It will go to Pratama. So don't just say, karma, Dvitiya, same thing. Not the same thing. Because when it becomes passive, it is not becoming Dvitiya. So keep these things, because that's the reason why Panini has put them in these two places to assign the Karaka labels here. And because the condition Anabhihite, that Anabhihite in 231, very critical. Because all these rules, they only apply Anabhihite. So, okay, so one of the main reasons why Panini is doing these kind of things. So when you want actually let me put it like this, let me put 2 different things, to avoid the confusion. Apadana Sanya. When you have the Apadana Sanya, that you have to go to that 1.4 section, Karake. So Karake 2431. Okay, and then Panchami Apadane, where with them that made the connection for you. Is that when the Apadana Sanya comes, then that particular item, particular entity, will take the Panchami Bhakti. But that's a separate, this 2-step process. Also, I think, let me put this down here. So Panchami Bhakti, Panchami Vibhakti. We'll do this in detail next time. Vibhakti. That will come in 2.3. 2.3, this 25. 28 to 35, I think. So 35. Okay. Now I just mentioned to you that this 2-step process is coming. But then once in a while, what Panini will do is that he will assign the vibhakti directly. Vibhakti directly will assign. So these are they're called the karaka vibhakti. Karaka vibhakti is when you get the karaka sanya assignment in the 1.4. Then based on that assignment, like we say karmani, let's take a simple example. Let's take this one right here. Let's take 1.4.24, and the very part, my guess is that the very first sutram, 1.4.24, will define apadanam, and of course the next ones also. And 2.3.28 will say panchami apadane. So panchami will be assigned. So let's look at that quickly. So 1.4.24, because it is the very first one, as a matter of fact. So 1.4.23 started the karake adhikaraha. Then dhruvam apaye apadanam, where there is a definite separation from the thing, that from which separation is taking place, that is apadanam. Example, vrikshat phalam patati. The fruit falls from the tree, it separates itself from the tree. The point from which separation takes place, that point, so gets the apadana. Yeah. And then when we go to 2.3.28, so apadane panchami. Sorry, I said backwards last time. Apadane panchami. Apadane panchami. Whether in the sutram also I made a mistake, not panchami apadane, but apadane panchami, which makes sense because in the sutram, that thing which is already known to you should come first. So we already defined dhruvam apaye apadanam. You got that from 1.4.24. Apadanam is already known to you now. So then we should say apadane first. Apadane, already a known item. In that sense, panchami is used. Panchami. So not panchami apadane, but apadane panchami. Because generally speaking, in fact, this is why people ask the question about Ashtadhyayi, very first sutram, Vruddhi Radhaich. So people are saying, why did Pani say Vruddhi Radhaich? Vruddhi is not a term known to you as yet. Well, the Adaich is known to you from Mahasya Sutrani. So you know the H Pratyahara and Aich Pratyahara and also the Adi also, So then she said Adaich Vruddhi should have been said. Then why is it Vruddhi Radhe? Because that's the Mangalartham. He's saying because Vruddhi is a good term to start the Shastram with that. Because this is a Sutram. The Pani did not want to waste any term during Mangalacharanam. So instead he just used the word Vruddhi as a Mangalacharanam. That Vruddhi is Pani's way of starting an auspicious way. That may this knowledge grow. And may, all of you knowledge grow. So the Vruddhi Radhe, it violates this rule because the term which was known was only Ad and Age. Vruddhi is not known to us yet. He is defining Vruddhi from Ad and Age which is already known to us. Anyway, these kind of places, this is not for the most part, but thing which is known comes first in the sutra. And that which is to be now brought in, defined or new, already in that comes second. So, Apadane Panchami. But then what happens is that sometimes Pani will assign a sutram, without giving the apadana sanya. So those are called upapada vibhakti. So these, for example, we are going from 1 to 2.3.28 to 2.3.35. There are a number of rules over here. So now here point says anya, arad, itara, and all these words use panchami directly. So he doesn't want to give the padana sanya. Give them panchami. These are called upapada vibhaktis, where there is no karaka assignment done. Directly vibhakti assignment is done. It's called upapada vibhakti. And other one is called karaka vibhakti. I mean, these two clash. When these two clash, then the upapada vibhakti, the karaka vibhakti is baliyasi. The karaka vibhakti will overrule. For example, there is a sutra we say, look at this one, 2.3.16. Namaswasti swaha swadhalam vashat yogacha. So chaturthi vibhakti. When namaha is used, chaturthi should be used. So namah shivaya. Namah shivaya. So that did not assign any sampradana label to that. Instead, directly is instead use chaturthi. But then what happens is that when you say Narayanam Namaskaromi, you say Narayanam Namaskaromi, not Narayanaya Namaskaromi, because the Dhatu Kru has come in there now. Dhatu Kru is taking the object of Narayanam, and that was given the karma label in 1.4. This kartuho ipshita tamam karma, and then we got karmani ditya. So that Narayanam taking ditya was through the karma label, which was given in 1.4. So that is what is called as the Karaka Vibhakti. And the Karaka Vibhakti, when it clashes with the Upapada Vibhakti, then the Karaka Vibhakti will be Baliyasi. Just small details, just setting the ground for next time, is why we're going to 1.4, why we're going to 2.3, why these two places. We saw a couple of reasons. First of all, we saw the Anabhite, is that all these things are only Anabhite. Becomes Abhita, then these don't apply. Okay. But still the Karaka label stays. So the karma, whatever, that still stays. That's not lost. What is in 1.4? Only this Anabhite, only the Vibhaktis are not assigned in this manner. The second thing we saw, when the clash comes, then in the rare cases, the Karaka Vibhakti will be Baliyasi. So just put in the document, your Karaka Vibhakti and the Upapada Vibhakti. Karaka Vibhakti. In a way, this Vibhakti Prakaranam is easy because only short sections, but on the other hand, it's kind of tricky because sometimes some gray areas you have to kind of make them, because Panini did not make it black and white like the other areas. So there is some flexibility. I guess it depends on the wish of the speaker. So it's not like mathematics stepwise, like we do the Subanta thing and the Sandhi rules. It's not like that. So, but again, it's a small section. You can use some flexibility. So Karaka Vibhakti is first you assign the Karaka label. So assign the Karaka, whatever the Sanya might be, and then you can do the so Karaka means like so Karma Sanya, etc. What is the Karma, etc. Sanya? So the Karma Sanya, etc. in 1.4 using 1.4.23 onwards, and then come to assign Vibhakti from the 2.3 Vibhakti in 2.3, while the Upapada Vibhakti, you will Upapada Vibhakti, you directly go to the second step, Vibhakti, you go to the second step, Vibhakti. So directly you assign Vibhakti in 2.3. So, and when there is a clash, then the Upapada Vibhakti, so Karaka Vibhakti Baliyati, that is the Karaka Vibhakti will be Baliyati. Baliyati. Will be lower. Okay, now we are almost out of time. I just for next time for homework. So I said only these whatever 16 rules are there. You try to do them for homework. We're looking at a section from 1.4.24 onwards. 1.4.24. So start from there. Sutras are like this. Quickly in English, and then we'll stop with that. Dhruvam apaye apadanam. When the point of separation, that point from which separation takes place, that is the apadana sanya. Vrikshat phalam patati. Bhitrarthana bhaya hetuho. So with dhatu in the sense of bhi and to try to protect. Now again, arthana, then in those meanings, rakshanartham. For example, to fear somebody or to protect from something, chorad vibheti, he's afraid of thief. So from the thief he has fear. papad rakshati ishvaraha, protects you from committing sin. Next is parajera sodhaha, very specific usage we have. So when you're not able to, when you're kind of disgusted, when you kind of give up studying or something like that, adhyanat parajayati. So when somebody is cannot tolerate to study anymore, cannot bear to study anymore, asodhaha. So we'll see it next time. This paraji dhatu is used, then you can use that one. Then varanarthanam ipsitaha. When you ward somebody off of something that you want to protect, so that will also be used, this apadana sanya. Then antardhau yena darshanam ichchati. When you want to hide from somebody, you want to hide from somebody. So that from somebody you want to hide from, that will also take the apadana sanya. And akshat upayoge. Akshat upayoge, when you say, is when you have to, when you get knowledge from somebody, when you get the knowledge from a teacher, etc. We'll see this all in detail next time. Just give very, very rough usage before we sign off today. So if you want to take a quick example for the akshat, when you say antar from the 1428, antardhau yena darshanam, from that from whom you want to hide from. The 1428 example in the Kashika is that upadhyayad antardhatte. He hides from the teacher. He doesn't want teacher to see him. So that's what he says. And akshat upayoge is that upadhyayat adhite. That's the next sutra. He studies, he gets knowledge from the teacher. From the teacher he studies. Okay. Janikartu prakritihi. That from which something is born, when something is produced from something else. Shunga charo jayate. So the arrow is produced from the horn. So janikartu prakritihi. Then bhuva prabhavaha. So that from which something emanates, starts from something, So himavataha ganga prabhavati. From the Himalayas, the Ganga starts from there, originates. It originates from that one. So that is also another thing. So and that's it. That ends this section from 24 to 31, and then in 2.3 you have to go to 28 to 35. So the very first one is very easy. It just says apadane panchami. So these we'll see next time when you do in the class next time. Okay, so the time is up today. So please study this section from the 2 to 1.4, the 24 to 31, and the 2.3 from the 28 to 35. Okay, so these are the rules. Everything in the book that you will see, what's the homework for you is try to connect what is said in the book with these rules. For example, it says origin from the action to nagarad agacchami. This is the apadane. I mean the dhruvam apayaha, apaye apadana. So and then try to connect these various things that he has given. Also take 2.3.25, by the way. I didn't mention that one. 2.3.25. Last two per day, because it says hetau, because the panchami comes up in the sense of hetau is coming. So take 2.3.25 also. We'll put that 2.3.25 also in there. And with that we will stop 2.3.25 also. 24.25, but we use 25 is enough for that. Okay. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje. Ramena Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Ramanasti Paranam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham. Rame Chittale Stada Bhautame Bho Rama Mamuddhara. Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame. Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnamiti. So for homework, try to read the book and connect those clauses from the sutras, and so that you should be able to find them all. That will bring us to the end of this lesson. And if you have time, you can do some homework also. But for next time, I think probably just finish this lesson next time. We can probably finish next time. Yeah, we can finish next time. If we have time, we'll try to do some homework. So, any questions? So, how are we doing, Vasu and Anu? No problems?
Hope not, Satishji.
It went through, it looks like. Now you may have to tell us how to.
Yeah, you have to. We'll have Ravi and Kalpesh walk you through that process.
Okay.
How to upload this thing. So once you stop recording now, so
No, why is the prompt for